Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It is Thursday. We got Sweet 16 action. We got MLB. I think it's safe to say today is opening day. We had one game out of the way last night, but it is opening day. So, Dan, we got a couple guests here. We got a lot to break down. What do we got on today's show?
Yeah, Gianni the Greek going to kick us off. We got him right over here because I left him on the screen. So, Gianni, we'll talk to you in just a second here as he's going to break down what steam we're seeing here in MLB action. Man, I'm pumped. I got the odds logic screen over here. We got first pitches coming in about an hour here. So, opening day is here. So, yes, we're as pumped as you are here, folks. So, we're going to talk about what steam we've seen in MLB action. And yes, folks, don't think we forgot Sweet 16 action happening tonight. What should you be betting for today and tomorrow? What's Yanni seeing there as well? Joe's got you covered. That's right. Joe Raineri, Texas and Purdue, Illinois and Houston. He's also going to talk the D-backs versus the Dodgers because everybody's wondering, are the Dodgers going to get the 105 wins? Well, we're rooting not is what we'll say. But a lot of Dodgers talk throughout the season, I'm sure, but we'll talk their opening day game here against the D-backs. I might even throw you a baseball play today, Andy. I'm looking at this odds logic screen. I think we might have our first money line play of the season on opening day. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Andy will take you all around the world. We still got a baseball unboxing. Andy, let's get into it, brother.
Dan's got a baseball play. Don't you threaten me with a good time. Let's go.
It's opening day. You got to have some kind of baseball play on opening day, right?
Yeah,
just tread
light. We got a prop that's up at Sports Memo. We're 9-1 on Sports Memo plays, so we got to prop this. Apparently, anything I put up at Sports Memo is just golden for whatever reason. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But let's bring in Yanni and let's start talking about it. Yanni, it's opening day. Here we go for the next 17.
I can't believe you just said that because I have to jump in. I just put up a baseball play at Sports Memo. I upgraded, I sent out the Steam sheet and it had like 7 baseball plays, 8 college basketball. And if I upgrade something later in the day, I always go back in and let them know this became a premium. So they get extra premiums in the Steam sheet. And I just upgraded a move to premium and I put it at Sports Memo because I have a run there too. I've won 5 straight. 6-0-1 the last 7, and I think like 8-1-1 the last 8-0-1 like the last 9. So I'm trying to stay a little perfect there, and I like it's an early game, so I'm putting it over there to try to keep that streak alive. So that's funny how you said that. We take pride in hitting those $7 plays there. So pay attention to those for the bettors out there. Because I know I just hearing you say that I do the exact same thing. I'm selective what I put over there. I don't put stuff every day, but I do try to put gold when I do fire.
Yeah. What do you got for baseball today? I mean, pitches start here pretty soon. I know you got. There's got to be a lot of action. Everyone's excited.
Indeed. I mean, it's such a busy day, man. Forget the Sweet 16, which is going to get the bulk of the attention, the bulk of the action, but you got NBA, you got NHL, you got Major League Baseball. I mean, there's just so many boards and markets available to us that there's going to be inefficiencies. When you couple in all the props and the volume that they now attract, the books are forced now to put so much more attention on those markets, which now I believe has made sides and totals even less efficient in a lot of the bigger markets because the props are attracting so much of the action. Kind of like we've learned with NFL in the playoffs and Super Bowl, where the props are now more than half of the volume. So they have to focus a lot of their attention there. Here's some of the early moves in Major League Baseball. And again, as lineups get confirmed, as limits grow, that's where you start to see more and more legit moves. But here's what we got early. 901 over 6.5 and 7, Pittsburgh and the Mets. 903, Washington plus 195. And the under 8 at minus 115. 906, Arizona and the Dodgers under 9 at minus 110. Couple dogs for you. 907, Minnesota plus 130. 913, White Sox plus 165. And then 920, Philadelphia minus 145. And one that just came, where's that? 916, Well, 916, yeah, just came in. San Diego at plus 120 or better. That's what we're looking at in MLB right now.
Did you fire any futures? I mentioned this to you, and me and the team decided to fire. It's a 4% play on the under 104.5 most wins by a team. That was our only future that we put out. You got any win totals that you liked?
I didn't do it. And the truth is, I just don't have the confidence in the source that I was getting all of my MLB win totals. I think the market caught up with his model. I just keep it real. I was using his for when I jumped on WagerTalk at 2017, and I used his every year, those baseball futures. And again, come September, October, we'd get a windfall of cash, which was perfect timing for football. But over the last 2 seasons, that didn't happen. But more importantly, when I went back and looked at the work, he wasn't getting CLV. And to me, that's a problem. He's supposed to be ahead of the market. Again, if you're getting me closing line value and you're losing, that's fine. I can live with that, because in a short term, that's going to happen. You can have the edge in 10 straight bets and go 0-10. That will happen. But it will reflect somewhere that the edge, you did have the edge. And if I don't see that in the closing line value, then I just can't trust that source. And he did send me what he has. I'm going to obviously book it and keep it and see how he does. But once again, I'm glad I didn't use them for subscribers, because I'm just not seeing the closing line value on his plays. And I just don't have confidence when that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, the markets are always adjusting, and if we don't adjust our handicapping style, we end up a little bit behind. We're seeing that in multiple sports. We were talking about UFC earlier.
Exactly. It does. It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah. Only 3 NBA games, a lot of NHL games. Is this kind of one of those days where everyone's so focused on baseball and NCAA that we're kind of overlooking some of the other sports that we got? What are you seeing in those markets? Great
call there, because that's exactly what's happening. And look at this. They got down on 501 over 229.5 Sacramento, Orlando, 503 New Orleans plus 5.5 and 5, and 505 under 223.5 Knicks and Charlotte. And then in NHL, usually not busy in NHL, but here you go, 5 bets that they fired, because again, all the attention's on the Sweet 16. 2, Tampa Bay minus 275, tells you sharps do lay chalk. If they think the true line should be minus 320, they'll lay 275 all day. Don't let anybody tell you different. 11, Minnesota minus 140, 145. Game 14, St. Louis minus 130. Game 15, under 6 at plus 105, Colorado, Winnipeg. And game 24, under 6.5 at plus 105, Edmonton and Vegas. So yeah, definitely some NHL action, some NBA action, and MLB is getting a lot of sharp money because of all the attention on the Sweet 16. But with that said, obviously their Sweet 16 moves. We talked about a couple. Sharps got out immediately ahead of the market. Now the key is, what do they do today? Over the next 4 hours to 6 hours, we're going to see this play out. Because again, most of the recreational bettors aren't betting the Sweet 16 till today. And they're probably not up firing at 9 a.m. Pacific time. As the day goes on, that money will start to get to the window. Once it does, the odds makers, bookmakers, will be forced to reflect that action based on their risk as it starts to pile up. That'll open the door for some value, and that's when we get to conclude and confirm what the sharp sides and totals really are. Because again, some of this is getting out ahead of the market when the market is so overwhelming compared to sharp money. Again, like it's just the influx of recreational money. It's like you can't even see the sharp money coming in. It's just so minuscule compared to the bulk of the action, which is from, recreational accounts tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's a beautiful time to make some money over these next 4 days.
So you're saying the sharps are going to wait until closer to tip off before?
Yeah, they bet everything early. They got down early what they got out ahead of the market. They got down on their Dukes. They got down on Arkansas plus 9s. They got down on Texas plus 8s. But again, I wasn't surprised to see that. The thing is, are they now going to lay the 6.5 with Duke? Are they now going to come back the other way and lay like we saw Purdue get bet yesterday. So that's what the key today is, seeing, are there any moves early that was just a manipulation of the market, or getting out ahead of it and legit stuff coming in late, or was that the move early, and now it's a decision on whether to take the second or third number. So that's what I've been seeing, and I expect movement as we approach tip-off. I don't think the lines are going to stay static as they are. We'll start seeing movements over the next couple hours for sure on sides and totals.
Let's move to UFC. We got a pretty, it's an okay card. It's not too bad. I got to tell you, I just love Joe Pyfer in the main event at plus money against Adesanya. I love fading these guys that were at the peak of their career, and then once you work that hard to get to the top and you stay there for that long, once it starts to go, it just goes. I think Adesanya's lost his fastball, lost his durability. The only way I see him winning is kind of outpointing Pyfer, and maybe Pyfer gets a little bit tired, but I see all the advantages going Pyfer's way, and money keeps coming in on Izzy. What are you seeing there?
I agree with you 100%. And this is the time. Do not fear betting dogs. Have extra conviction if you're betting favorites. I sound like a broken record, but favorites are so far ahead right now in MMA, in the UFC particularly, that unless the playing field has changed, meaning with the move to Paramount, and even that towards the end of the ESPN deal, where they had to have so many cards, that was the deal. They had to have a card every week. Is parity no longer key in the UFC? If there's still parity, if there's still competition, then we're sitting at an outlier right now where favorites are so far ahead, we should see a regression towards the dogs. Like, we're not going to get 80% favorites over the course of 2026. So for this now to come back to around that 65% average long term, we're going to have to see a higher rate of underdogs cash over, the long term. Now, is that going to be over the next 3 events, 5 events, 10 events, or this next event? But it is going to happen, because we know if you go over the last 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, any statistically significant sample size of UFC bets, you're going to get close to 65% favorites, 34% underdogs, and 1% no contest draws. That's what you're going to get. It's been like that forever. Now, if it's going to continue like that, don't be afraid to bet these dogs. And I absolutely agree with you there. I like the Pyfer side there. I am even looking at Grasso in the co-main event. I haven't bet that because the Barber line continues to climb. I already like the winner of the first to win the second, because historically that's what's happened more than 6.5 out of 10 times. I know this first fight happened 5 or 6 years ago, but that's why we're getting extra line value, because that closing line with Barber was minus 130. Now she's up to minus 180, 190. Even though she lost that fight. And that's just based on recency bias. Barber coming in on a hot streak, Grasso coming in and having lost 3 straight. But if you look at Grasso, she fought Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, if you look at her last 4 fights, 3 of those were with Shevchenko. She actually won 1 of those. Again, I don't think Barber would fare all that well against that version of Valentina either. So being able to get Grasso at this kind of plus money, win or lose, again, I think it's a good bet. There's no way she doesn't win this fight 4 out of 10 times. So you give me plus 150, I'm getting the best of it. And right now I could get 155, easily 160. So I think Grasso's, I just talked myself into an automatic bet. I'm on Grasso too.
I like, listen, I'll go through the list of dogs that I think could win. Julian Erosa, fighting a contender series guy. Belgarui, he's got the length to make it messy.
A sharp guy, that Nick Kalikas, who
yep,
started MMA odds and stuff like that. That I do the show with the UFC with. That was his best bet. Belguri, you just confirmed it for me. I'm going to bet that now too.
Kyle Nelson, he's plus money over Terrence McKinney. If Terrence McKinney doesn't win in the first 3 minutes, he's toast. Musayev, if he gets takedowns, he could cash as a plus 240. Lance Gibson. Are we trusting the chin of Chase Hooper these days? Not me. The interesting one is Marcin Tybura. I don't understand why he's a underdog against Tyrell Fortune. He was supposed to fight somebody else. They pulled out with an injury, so they pulled off the dumpster pile of the corpse of Tyrell Fortune. 2 fights ago, he fought a guy that's 52 years old. That's who he's been fighting. Now he's in the UFC. Fought a 52-year-old.
And Giannis opened as the favorite. He's now the underdog.
Love Giannis.
Kalikas likes Giannis too. He gave out Giannis on our show and Belguri guy.
All right.
Dogs.
Before I let you go, Andrew wants to know if there's a value on a 1 seed to win it all at -170. So the prop is, will a 1 seed win it all?
Yes.
Okay.
I would lay up to 200 on that, actually. I thought the line would be, I thought they would juice it up to 250 so you can't bet it. But if he's getting 165, I would bet that for sure, because I do think it comes from Duke or Arizona. They're heads above everybody else. They really are the best 2 teams right now. I have Duke, so I'm kind of biased. I'd like to see Duke get it done, but that is the one team that I'm really afraid of is Arizona. Because they did have the tougher strength of schedule and they are offensively top 3, but I have the defensive edge with Duke, so I'm okay there. But I do think a number 1 gets it based on who's left now. Like, again, Purdue's going to be scary if they get past Texas. There's a couple scary teams like that. But Michigan could be scary if they get past Alabama, Tennessee, even if they get by Iowa State or the latter Iowa State. But I just think the cream will rise to the top. And with still having we still have 3 of the 4 number 1s in there, having to lay anything less than -200, where the break even's 2 out of 3, I do think that's plus CV. I do.
All right. What do you have up for everyone on this Thursday?
All right. I have my Thursday package up. That's tonight's Sweet 16. I have 2 plays in there. You'll see what I'm talking about. I kind of broke a play up in half. Another place coming up within the next 60 minutes, which is a 4%. Just confirm that. I have my Friday package up for the Sweet 16 with a 5%. I've only fired 4 5% the entire college basketball season. We cashed 3 of them. The only one we lost was North Carolina, up 19 with 6 minutes left. So we should be sitting at 4-0. I've been very selective with those. We have one tomorrow that's warranted. In fact, I have 2 in there. I have a 5% and a 4% with a bonus. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get that package. I have the UFC package up as well. 2 premiums in there, 2 more going in today. And over at Sports Memo, we have the early Major League Baseball play that I gave out to subscribers as well, trying to stay perfect over there over our last 7 or so bets. And finally, free soccer at WagerTalk premium plays. I sent out 2 more, 1 in Colombia, 1 in Ecuador, I believe. So always check out the free picks at WagerTalk, because I load up the soccer, the table tennis, all that smaller market stuff, so that you guys could bury your books with it too, because I get pissed off. They don't take that shit from us. So I wish everybody could bury their books with it. The DraftKings, the MGMs, the Caesars that we can't bet into. So take those soccer bets and bury them with it. Long term, they're gonna cash more than they trash. That's just the bottom line. So best of luck whether you follow or fade this weekend. We're looking to make some money and continue up for 2026. That's the goal. And again, thank you to all who've partnered with me for this year. Steam Room will be Saturday. So until then, let's just do some damage.
All right, Gianni the Greek getting us ready for Sweet 16 on Thursday.
Yanni.
Thank you, Gianni. Good luck. Have a big day. Dan, 1-1 yesterday. We lost on Aaron Judge on his walk, but we hit our bigger play in the NBA. That was not. It was a late game. Thank God he hit it in the first half, so I didn't have to stay up and watch the whole damn game. Andrew brings it up too. Why are we starting college games at like 10:15?
I mean, people on the West Coast got to eat too, right? But now that I'm back on the East Coast, I am like, what are we doing here? 10:15 starts. When it was 7:15, sure, it made sense. But no one on the West Coast even knows the game's happening. So why are we catering to them on the West Coast here, man? Come on.
Oh, it's really bad. It's really bad. I don't understand these late games. When my senior year, when I was in college, IU went to the championship game, and we got to the bar at 8 a.m. and the game didn't start till like 9:45. It was 13 and a half hours before. It was just like you get to like 7 o'clock in the evening.
You've been told it was a fun time watching that game is essentially what you're telling me there, Andy. You've been told
it was awesome.
We had a great.
it was one of the best days. It's one of the most memorable days of my life. You put
in a full shift. That was a double shift at the factory you pulled there, Andy. Well done. Well done.
I'm so appreciative that I was in college when my school made it to a championship game. Like it was just like seeing them go through the tournament, Final Four, then championship game was just it was awesome. It was really, really memorable.
Yeah, so. Andy, we got Joe coming on here, Sweet 16. We'll be talking with him, getting his thoughts. Big day in Houston, by the way. He's going to talk that Houston game. They also have Angels and the Astros who are playing. We have the Houston Open this weekend. They're hosting games there in Houston. So big time in H-Town. But before we do that, Andy, people are looking at Sweet 16. They're looking at MLB. What's our team rocking with tonight? Because, guys, there is plenty of other action in quiet time in the book where everyone's focusing on opening day and Sweet 16. Andy and the team, we got some great plays coming folks' way.
Seth nailed it. We got 5% darts play. Starts here in a couple hours. It's half price. So if you guys want to jump on board with a half price darts play, that is up. Boxing, 5% boxing play just went in. We've got golf that's rolling right now. We just put in a lacrosse play as well. And we do have a baseball prop that is up over at Sports Memo. We're running the 30-day special. It's $100 off. Get you down from $299 down to $199. And yeah, college basketball is wrapping up. Guess what? There's a million other sports. NASCAR, Formula One. I know it's not the sexiest sports to bet on, but what is sexy? Winning. We're up to 37 units profit. I wanted to be at 30 units by the end of March. We've already passed that. So we get a few of these home and we're way ahead of schedule. So you want to be part of the Winning in the Shadows family, like Seth, like for some of these other guys that taking their time and money to invest in us. Jump on board, man. It's a great club to be a part of when you're betting on these sports and cashing, because the books are paying attention to baseball. They're not paying attention to lacrosse. They're not paying attention to darts. Yep. They're not paying attention to these other sports. So WT.buzz/AL, that's where the website is. And you're not just getting my plays. You're getting Dan's, you're getting Jan's, you're getting Jim's. So that's over at WagerTalk.com. Rocking the 5% darts play right now. And then it's a light day in NBA, so I think we're going to pass on NBA props. We've been on a nice run on NBA props, so great day to kind of take off that. So we'll cash in these sports and we'll cash in MLB. And let's bring in Joe. Help us cash in NCAA.
Joe, back to the home base, baby. How'd the New York? Did you end up having to drive, or were you able to get your ass back down to Florida on a plane?
Yeah, no, I was there. Thank God. I was this close, though. Avis was on speed dial. Don't kid yourself. I was ready to go, but no, it worked out, and it was funny. But I mean, it was 24 hours later. If something would have happened, I'd still be at LaGuardia right now, because that's where I flew out of. And then that whole thing gets shut down for like 420. It was, knock on wood, it all worked out, and I got to defrost. So I got 18 holes in, and I'm ready to roll now.
I love to see it. All you had to do, get back on the links, and now we're locked and loaded, ready to go. I mean, Joe, this is for the stuff that you cap. I mean, this is like the Joe Raineri sports equinox, because we have basketball going on. College basketball has been great. And now something that's near and dear to your heart is obviously what happens on the diamond. So I say we start there. It's opening day. So we'll kick it off here with your thoughts. Everyone wants to talk Dodgers. It's what'll happen all year long. So D-backs Dodgers is how we'll be kicking it off tonight. I believe that one's around like 8:30ish. So how are you looking to play this one? It's Yamamoto and Gallen is what we're seeing in this one.
Let me just first address, Andy said something interesting. He said, what the hell's more sexy than actually winning, no matter what the sport is, right? Well, you know what else is sexy? Taking a friggin' nap so you can stay up until 10 o'clock to watch a Sweet 16 game. Are you guys friggin' kidding me here? Really? Can't wait up there. I do a morning show, guys. I am up at 4 o'clock I still manage to make up at 10 o'clock and watch.
That's fair.
Are you guys out of your mind? Like, it happens once a year. It's March Madness. Get your ass in it, take a nap, go to the car, lay down, whatever you got to do. Make sure you can handle staying up till 10 o'clock to watch a March Madness game. My goodness.
Keep us honest, Joe. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Jesus, you guys. My word. Now, listen, there are some baseball games I would absolutely not stay up to watch. But shout out to Netflix, by the way, for showing us that they have absolutely no idea what the hell they're doing when it comes to actually broadcasting live Major League Baseball games. If I see John Cena one more time on an ad, I'm going to throw up between now and at the end of the season. I'm done with Netflix. But this game tonight here with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, the way I approach baseball, and I always have, is I try to take out as much variance early in the season as possible. So you'll see me looking at a lot of first 5 bets. I want nothing to do with bullpens until we can get enough data on them at some point, usually right around the end of May, beginning of June. I think all of the value is usually with starting pitching, right? Because we know what we're going to get from starting pitchers. We don't know what we're going to get a lot of times with bullpens, and we know that pitchers are ahead of the game as far as hitters go this early on. A lot of warm places this afternoon, by the way, for opening day. So we might get a few more runs than we anticipate. But with this game, you've got 2 pitchers that I don't think in spring training went over 70 pitches. And that's kind of the thing right now, early on in the season. You've got guys like Yamamoto and Zach Gallen. They're not throwing them out. They're not going 7 innings. And if they are going 7 innings, then they're probably throwing a no-hitter or a one-hitter. And, you know, they're 12 pitches an inning and they're out, that kind of thing there. We saw Max Fried go more than 5 innings yesterday simply because the Giants can't hit water if they fell out of a boat. But you kind of have that same situation here, it feels like, where, yeah, the Dodgers are the easy play, but not at this price. I tend to think that both pitchers are going to be interesting here. The outs props is really the way I like in this game. I think Yamamoto under 15.5 outs. I think it's same with Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen had a lot of trouble with lefties last year. I don't know that he corrected that in the offseason, certainly not from what I saw in spring training. So we could get some runs here. I mean, the wind's only blowing out a little bit here out in L.A., but we know that lineup of the Dodgers more than capable of putting up some runs here. I think they do put up some runs. I do think that both pitchers might have a shorter than expected evening. So I don't see either going 5 innings, if we're being honest. I think both teams probably score some runs early. First 5 over and under on the outs prop here for both starting pitchers in this game.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of ways to attack that game. So there you go. Some opening day action for you, or opening night, I guess we could call it there. Joe, let's talk about these Sweet 16 games here. We'll kick it off. Illinois and Houston. I know this one's the later game, but it's the one I'm a little bit more intrigued to hear your thoughts on. 2.5, basically painted. Maybe a little bit of 3 out there, 1, 2 in the marketplace. So we're sitting 2.5, and this total is right around 140. Super intrigued. Houston, you would think, would just continue to roll here, but I'm wondering, do we have a barking dog? What do you think, Joe?
Well, I mean, listen, styles make fights, right? And here we go. Yep. We've got defense versus offense, right? Illinois, not a whole lot of defense here. They don't turn anybody over. They're very good with the monster dudes they got in the middle there from the Eastern European crew. They don't give up a lot of second chance opportunities, not a lot of second chance points for teams, but they're not out there swatting guys left and right, turning the ball over and getting extra possessions. Illinois is all about winning the math. And that means, can they get up more shots? Can they take more threes than the other team? If they do, they win. They win a lot of these games. The problem with Illinois is that we've seen them lose twice to Wisconsin, UCLA, Michigan, and Michigan State. And the formula seems to be push them around. Be physical with them, take them out of the comfort zone, contest their shots from the outside, and if they don't fall, there's a problem. Well, they're taking on a Houston team that is tougher and better in a lot of those categories than any of those teams that have beaten Illinois already this year. That is the path to beat Illinois. Push them around, be more physical, get in their face. That is the recipe for it. Ultimately, though, I think we're likely going to get more points than people think in this game. We know Illinois is going to try to win the math battle. 3 is more than 2. If I take up more shots, if I make enough of them, I'm going to beat you, Houston. Great in theory. It's a little risky. It's a little variance involved. But this wouldn't shock me. I think the whistle is going to play a big part in what happens in this game from a total perspective. But as of right now, I know everyone's thinking Houston and an under. I would not be shocked if this game goes over a lot. I think 140 is a little bit lower. Listen, Houston has not lost a game. Oh, you ready for this? 9 times since 2018 have the Houston Cougars played in the city of Houston and lost. Just 9 games since 2018 here. They love playing at home. They love playing in front of their fans. Illinois has got to score to win. And if you think they can win this game is going over. I think the number's a little bit too low here.
Wow, love that breakdown. And yeah, you don't want to be holding an under ticket when the foul palooza starts at the end of the game when you're trying to cling on. You want to be a dog to get it home. Push the pace is what Joe says. Joe, before we talk Texas and Purdue, what do you got locked and loaded? I know I alluded to when you first hopped on here. I mean, this is the Raineri equinox. So I know clients of yours will be having all kinds of action. What do they find over at your page?
Yeah, we're locked. We've been locked here since Monday, as a matter of fact, when the lines came out here. We've got a bunch of games in the Sweet 16. I got a 4% today in the Sweet 16. I got a 4% tomorrow in the Sweet 16. But I got a couple of other plays in these 4 games here tonight that I absolutely love that you can get over at WagerTalk.com. It's been a hell of a March Madness, 14-6 right now in March Madness. So we're really starting to see really seeing it well here, especially with the NIT. Don't forget, we got another tournament coming up here. I don't even know if people realize. We don't think college basketball is coming to an end. We got another tournament about to start as well. So plenty of college basketball. And even though it's a short night in the NBA, we do have another NBA top play up and available because one of these games has got way too much value to pass up here on the card tonight. And we kick off Major League Baseball with our first top play of the season available over at my page on WagerTalk.com.
Whew. WT.buzz/JR. And yeah, if you think it's over, folks, how about the Crown Tournament? Let's go. We're not done with college basketball, boys. Let's get
Who doesn't love more mediocre band? Let's see Colorado throw up all over themselves.
Let's go.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, well, the guy who's 14-6 rocking in this tournament, he's got 2 plays loaded that have been loaded since lines dropped. Those are plays that he probably likes quite a bit. Go check him out. But Joe, real quick, on the way out, Texas, Purdue. This one really is painted. 7.5 is what you're seeing. Total 147.5. Similar thoughts in this one. If your dog wants to get it home, do they want to keep this score low? Because Purdue, when they get hot from distance, man, they can shoot the lights out. I don't know if you want to get in a track race with them.
No, you don't. And this could be another one of these games that I think very much how this game is whistled is going to determine, certainly from the total perspective, what happens here. Purdue doesn't foul an awful lot. Texas lives at the free throw line. They've been top 10 all year long in free throw shots. They love getting to the foul line. The problem is they love sending people to the foul line just as much as they love taking foul shots here. So I think great story for Texas, man. I mean, Sean Miller, they were dead in the water. How they managed to get to the Sweet 16, kudos. But an 11 seed with a $15 million payroll doesn't equate to me. They underperformed all year long. They've got the talent. It's a good team. But I think at this point, look at what Purdue has done since they had that losing streak where everyone stuck a fork in them. They're like, oh, God, this team is terrible. They've won 6 in a row, and they've won 6 in a row for one reason and one reason only. It's because their defense has shown up. They've been top 30 in the country during this 6-game winning streak. You get defense, you get Braden Smith out there, you get other guys making shots. They're playing their best basketball right now, and they've been here and done this. What is this, the third Sweet 16 in a row? They always make it to the Elite Eight here. I think the slipper is, we're about to get a pumpkin again here with Texas. I think Purdue not only wins this game, I got them winning by double digits, guys. It's been a nice run for Texas, but this is where Purdue separates itself, especially at the free throw line at the end of the game when Texas is chasing them the whole time. That's where you get to a double-digit win by Purdue.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's why this thing hasn't really budged, because I think people are scared off of seeing a 7.5 there. So love the two breakdowns there, Andy. And I know you were listening intently to what Joe had to say, especially on the prop front, Andy. What do you got for Joe?
Yeah, we got to give away a 3-day pass here. We haven't gone. I haven't gone head to head with anybody. We haven't given away a 3-day pass yet this week. So Joe, let's go head to head on the Yamamoto prop. You like his under 15.5 outs. I like the over. In fact, I'm going to do it in free play. So let's go head to head. Dan, tell them how we can win a 3-day pass.
So I love it, Andy. I had the boxing bell queued up here for you, ready to go when these guys are going head to head. So yeah, it's just this simple. You heard Joe's great handicap on it, why he thinks the Yamamoto play should be going under. Andy's going to break down here in a little bit why he thinks it should be going over. That's what we love, folks. Sometimes the best in the biz disagree, and it's your chance. All you do, comment below. Do you agree with Joe or do you agree with Andy on this Yamamoto prop? Whichever side wins, if you comment below with your WagerTalk username, boom, you're entered in to win a free 3-day flex pass. So ride with the capper of your choice. Just leave your WagerTalk username below and boom, you're entered in. Drop it in the comments after the show goes live and you're entered in there. I like it, guys. A little head-to-head action.
Absolutely. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, Joe.
Let's go
head to head. All right, Joe. Thanks very much. Appreciate you.
All right, Joe, enjoy your nap. Get ready to go for the 10 o'clock game.
Like, holy Christ, the blue plate special, guys. Don't forget, dinner served at 4. Like, holy Christ, take a nap and watch the damn games. I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Joe.
All right.
All joking aside, Andy, I do try and eat dinner around 4:30. I'm an early dinner kind of guy. It's the nature of the beast, because you can't have snacks late night if you don't eat dinner early enough. So.
Let's see real quick. Rob says NCAA hockey tournament starts today. Who's on that for Wager Talk? I'll give you Quinnipiac versus Providence on the under 5.5. Both teams very good defensively. And you look at Quinnipiac, they've got a lot of games that end 1-2, 2-2, see 4-0, 4-1. I don't expect a lot of goals. So there's your NCAA hockey play. Providence and Quinnipiac under 5.5. Bet you didn't see that coming, Rob.
I personally did not, Andy. But before we go all around the world and do the unboxing, we have a couple questions there, or statements more, that I want to get to here. And one thing we had blocked: my bookie hates me because of lacrosse. That is what we aim to do. We want your bookies to hate you. So I'm right there with you. I had to get some new ones simply because of winning a little bit too much. Seth saying, hey, join live for darts. Andy has some live dart sweats that you can join in here. Plays are loaded today, so you can check those out, but it will change your life. And Alfred saying, I put in my first ever darts play. It's all right, man. We're going to get that cricket money back. Do not worry. But Andy, I pulled up these comments here simply because that's what it's like when you're riding with the Winning in the Shadows team. That's what it's like when you head on over to wt.buzz/AL. Like, this is a betting family, folks, that we all ride together. And we're the ones who are in the Discord, sweating it out. We actually had a bunch of comments yesterday, Andy, asking, hey, where's that Discord link at? So we'll make sure we drop it below. But guys, partner up. wt.buzz/AL. We have that 30-day all access. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's a steal. Even over the last 2 weeks with that 32 units that we chalked up. Sure, sometimes we're going to lose a cricket play here and there. Sometimes we're going to lose a lacrosse play here and there. But guess what? We're in golf. We're in darts. We're going to be having baseball action for you too. This is a great time to hop in, join the family, and let's ride together in cash, baby.
Yeah, real quick. Another thing, last year, Andy's props got me limited. Yeah, props. They're getting a lot better. It used to be props used to be really fringe. Like if you were betting NHL or NBA props, it was like, oh, whoa, you're really out
when
there.
you used to come on with Teddy was like, so how many people are really betting props? And now I would argue the handle, especially in like Jersey and those kind of places, dwarfs side and total handle.
Yeah. So how to not get limited on props. There's a few rules that I try and follow. The first is, I know this is counterproductive, but don't beat the line. If you see something that is a 3.5 rebounds and you know it should be 4.5, don't do it. It takes a lot of restraint. Don't smoke the number because you will be flagged immediately. Yep. So you have to exercise some patience. You have to wait a little bit. And the other thing is try and find what your book's limited and bet below that. If your book's limit is like $500 on props, you're betting $250 and you're doing that across 3 or 4 books. Don't bet. You got to stay off the radar as much as you can in the props market. I will guarantee you they're not going to flag you if you win at NFL because they know they're going to make that money back. If you start doing well in props, if you're beating the line and if you're betting the max limit, you're going to be on their radar. So those are a couple tips to try and protect your books and not get flagged.
And Andy, one thing that I'll throw in too, allow for in your bankroll some little tiny sprinkles on some donkey bets. And what do I mean by that? I mean,
this is great. This is great advice.
Throw in like a 3-team money line parlay for baseball of all favorites. Like throw in typical square bets, but don't do it at a big percentage because basically a lot of what happens, unless your account is really getting flagged super high, it's just a bot that's essentially checking your account for what tickets that you're typically putting in. There typically isn't going to be a human who is eyeing your account unless you're really crushing them. That's when they're going to start actually putting some money towards trying to flag you. So $5 parlay, you use the bonus that they send you, that little $10 bonus, make a $10 bet on a 10-leg slip. Throw in some donkey bets at way below just so it doesn't destroy your bankroll. That's what I've done to, keep the scent off of me in lacrosse is throw in some donkey bets elsewhere.
Yankees Dodgers parlay. You'll be off the radar. you throw some of those in there like, oh, okay, square bear. All right, let's do some free plays. Let's open a baseball. Let's do the free plays here.
Here we go.
So there's a bet here in darts. It starts here in a couple hours. Gerwin Price versus Jan van Veen. I played this personally at -130. It's now -170. Here's the deal. Van Veen is in his early 20s. He had kidney stones last week and he had to have surgery. And he said, my energy's way down. I can barely, move around. This is in Germany. So he's got travel involved. Gerwin Price is very, very good. You've missed the line move. I actually didn't know if he was even going to play today, but it looks like he is going to play. It's -170. If you want to play it, fine. If you want to use it as a parlay piece, that's fine. But you're fading a guy in his 20s that just had surgery on kidney stones. So Dodgers and Diamondbacks. I did put this Yamamoto over 5.5 strikeouts, but I'm going head to head with Joe on his outs props. So the strikeouts, listen, he's gone over the last 3 games against the Diamondbacks. He ended the regular season 12 straight games with going over this. I think he goes a little bit deeper into games. That's kind of his jam. So we'll take that. And then Senators and Penguins, Dylan Cousins will not have a point. 2 points in his last 9 games. And Dan, this is an insane streak. 13 straight games since 2021 against the Penguins without a point. They're just some teams that you just don't score points on. And Dylan has not been scoring against Penguins. Those are going to be your free plays for today. All right, Dan, let's open up a baseball. We've had 2 really, really good ones the last couple days. If you haven't watched the last couple days, I have a bunch of these mystery autographed baseballs that I have not opened. And so we're going to open them. And Dan is going to look them up on eBay and tell us how much they're worth. We had the Keith Mitchell one was the best one. That was worth electric for about $120, $130. So, all right, today's baseball. And while I'm doing this, please hit the like button, guys. It really helps us out. And don't forget to leave us a comment. Yeah, type in Andy or Joe and your WagerTalk username. We're going head to head on the Yamamoto outs. So, all right, Dan, here we go.
What do we got?
Come on, be a rare Mickey Mantle one that's worth millions. All right. All right. This one is Bob Horner, 1978 NL Rookie of the Year, 1982 All-Star. top 10 NL in home runs, 1977 College World Series most outstanding player, hit a home run in his first major league game, tied the major league record with 4 home runs in one game, went directly from college to the Braves starting lineup. So this is Bob Horner, and the autograph says Bob Horner 78 NLROY, Rookie of the Year.
I love that. 78 NL Rookie of the Year. Andy, I think we finally have our dud. I mean, 35.99 is what we're looking at, but it's not like Diaz yesterday that we can hold and make higher, or a guy who has a signature catch that was going for around 120. Bob Horner, you're basically locked in. Buy it now price, 35.99.
They can't all be winners.
They can't all be winners. They can't all be winners, Andy. But you know what? Before we sign off, I'll try and get the folks a baseball winner here. We're maybe going to have a drop for this, Andy. You and I will talk about this. But how about I try and find a dog on the baseball card every day? A little crack of the bat play.
Ooh, what do you got?
Day.
What do you
got? For me,
got?
we're looking at plus 160. Angels taking on the Astros. For me and this, guys, it's just the injury questions coming into the season here for the Astros. A couple different injuries that they had stacking up at the end of last year, a couple guys who are coming on the injured list to start the year. And Astros come in with the same question they have every single year. Is the window starting to close? They also are now seeing Hunter Brown, great young pitcher, folks, but it's also his new first day opening day starter here for sure, with Framber Valdez, no longer sitting there in the rotation, especially at the top. But for me, Andy, these teams, they see each other. And wow, the Astros have dominated 52 out of 77 meetings against the Angels here. Last year, they were only 8-5. Does 8-5 on opening day with injury issues scream to me that they should be a minus 180, minus 190 favorite? Hell no, especially when the Angels have a new manager who wants to start things off on the right foot. And for what it's worth, their opening day pitcher in Soriano, he won his 2 starts last year against this exact same ball club that didn't have injury issues. Give me plus 160, crack of the bat, play of the day, Angels going against Houston.
And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right. Go. There you go. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. That's going to do it for us. We are going to be live for the darts event. It's going to start about an hour and 15 minutes. It's on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. So just in YouTube, search Winning in the Shadows. Live show is going to be there. Starting at 2 o'clock. We'll root on our 5% best bet. Myself and Jan will be there. So like button, comment section with your Wager Talk username. Type Andy or Joe if you think Yamamoto is going to go over or under on his outs prop today. It's 15.5. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow to get you ready for the weekend. Good luck on your bets. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.